Hi guys, it's Kasha. Welcome to the channel, to my wonderland. It is a coffee time again and we have another top 5. So today it is top 5 Wednesdays. And if you are unfamiliar with top 5 Wednesdays, every Wednesday we post a video about a top 5 related to book. This comes from a Goodreads group that is hosted by Sam. Down below you will find a link to Sam's channel as well as a link to the Goodreads group. So today's top 5, it is 5 books that you would give to your young self. I really love this topic. I love the idea, but I had really had to think hard about this one. I finally made my decision. It was hard, but I made it. As always, they are in no particular order, and we have first of all The Neverending Story by Michael Ende. Why did I pick this one? Because it has fantasy, but the book teaches us that the path that you go through life, it's hard and there is loss and there is pain, but then there is always kind of a light at the end of the tunnel. I remember I was obsessed with this movie and I didn't know about the book. I read the book long after I had watched the movie, and I kind of wished that I would have read this book when I was younger. We follow the story of Bastian, and he was being bullied and he was having a really rough time in life, and he ends up running away from some bullies and goes into this kind of like antique shop and finds this book called The Neverending Story. And when he starts reading the book, he gets invested into this huge fantastic story. And you know, when I was a kid, I was also kind of like the weirdo, the bullied one, and so I would always also seek shelter in books. So it would have been amazing to read this book when I was younger, because I could have had connected with Bastian. And of course I did watch the movie when I was a kid, but I did not read the book, and the book and the movie, as you always know, are totally different things. I read the book as an adult and I loved it, and I still love it, but I kind of wish that I would have read it when I was younger. Then I have a couple of books that I read when I was already older. I don't know if I would have understood them when I was a kid, but maybe when I was a teenager, I wish that somebody would have given those books to me. And those are 2 books by an author, and I have not found the books translated in English, so I only know the Spanish name. So the author is Jorge Bucay, and he has a couple of books that are like different paths. So one of them is The Path of Sorrow, so to say, or The Path of Tears. If I translate it like literally, it would be The Path to the Tears, and the other one would be The Path to Happiness. And those books are meant to help you deal with loss and to help you deal with how to be happier. So the first book I read when I was going through a hard time accepting the loss of somebody that I loved, and it kind of helps you to deal with loss and how to approach things in a way that, you know, you can move on from grief and from the tears and try to, you know, leave this dark tunnel and go into the light. And the other one that could be translated like The Path to Happiness, it is a book that teaches you a little bit how to be a little bit happier. I mean, it's not telling you what you exactly have to do to be happy, because nobody can tell you that. You have to figure that by yourself, my sister. But it does tell you things that are so obvious, that are like on your face, that you should have realized this a long time ago. But it is nice to read these things because it opens up your eyes to things that are making you unhappy, and you shouldn't be worrying about those things because they don't matter, because that's not helping you to be happy. So just toss it, just let it go, let it go. I'm too tempted right now to do a Frozen scene, so let's just move to the next book. The next book is The Little Prince by Antoine de Saint. I'm not even gonna attempt that, but this book, I remember somebody gave it to me when I was a teenager, and I kind of wish that my younger self would have got this when I was a bit younger, because it is again a book that makes you think about life and a lot of important life lessons. It is one of the most translated books, and we can see the difference between a 6-year-old child and the perspective in life and the one of an adult. The book starts with somebody showing a picture of what it looks like to be a hat, but it could also be a snake that just ate an elephant. I'm pretty sure most of you are familiar with the book, and if not, it is a really short book, and I really recommend it for everybody because it is just one of the cutest, most heartbreaking and amazing stories ever. Next we have Sophie's World, and this book I picked because you can learn so much, not just life lessons, but also it's a great introduction to philosophy. We follow the story of Sophie, and she's a little girl, and she receives in the mail a package that includes what looks like to be a philosopher's like lessons. She starts having these discussions with her teacher, and the discussions have to do with the different philosophers. You know, we go from Plato to Nietzsche to everybody, and I love the way that everything is being discussed in the book, that it is very easy to understand and follow, but at the same time is very informative, and I just love the book so much. I don't know if everybody likes it or not. I don't think it gets as much love as it should. It is definitely one of those books that I could read over and over again, because I've always been interested in things like books discussing philosophy and, you know, questioning things, because it is important that we question ourselves all the time about things, because being curious and questioning ourselves is what makes us grow. And the last one that I want to mention now, it is actually a book series that I am still currently reading, and now I'm upset that I didn't start reading this when I was younger, and that is Suta Freak by Darren Shawn. So Hardback Hoarder made a video saying she wanted to reread the series, and she thought it would be cool if she would make kind of like a read along, and we are reading one book per week on the series. There's a total of 12 books, and I love it because this would have been something totally down my alley, because I loved to watch Goosebumps back when I was a kid. I'm not really sure if we had the books in Spain, but I definitely got to see the TV series and I loved it. And I wish I would have read this book series because it is awesome. It's not only dealing with characters like vampires and werewolves and snake boys, and there is a Suta Freak with freaks, you know, like people that have special abilities or deformities, and it is something that I've always loved. I've always been a weirdo, and that's the way it is. And everything is so well done. Like, even reading it now as an adult, everything is so awesome, and I can see all of those life lessons here and there that would have been so cool to get when I was younger, because now, you know, these life lessons are known to me, but back then those things would have given me something, you know, I could have taken from those books. I could have taken so much. So I wish that I would have had access to these books when I was younger. Alright you guys, so this was my top 5 books that I would give to my younger self. Let me know down below which books would you give to your younger self and why. Give the video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, all my other social media is listed down below, and I hope to see you all in the next coffee time. Bye!